coverage begins Friday on NHL Network.
Here's an update after a snowstorm. Yep, winter is still trash. You know what isn't garbage? A trip to the Garden, the world's most famous arena. We are taking one today for the NHL Network Showcase presented by SAP. The Rangers at home hosting the Seattle Kraken. You know who knows that building well is my friend Kevin Weeks. Been about a dozen years in the show, a few of them there at the Garden. And Weeksy, the Rangers have been lighting it up there at home. Introduce the people who haven't been watching the Blue Shirts to some of the main stars of the show.
There's so many. I really have been impressed with this team, but since we're on Broadway, let's start with head coach. Because you do need a good conductor-producer, and that happens to be head coach Jared Gallant. Molded his team to be harder to play against, more physical, complementing the skill. And of course, on the back end, Adam Fox, who's missing from this one, but however, reigning Norris Trophy winner, leads all defensemen in points. And in the net, somebody replacing my main man, the great Henrik Lundqvist, is Igor Shesterkin, who's been the best goalie in the league this year, as his numbers would suggest. In addition to that, Chris Kreider, best putter in the National Hockey League, tied for most goals in the National Hockey League. You want to team me up on that again?
Why is he the best putter playing hockey?
Because he's in closest proximity to the pin, as he would be in golf. He does the same thing in the National Hockey League. He gets inside defenders. He establishes himself net front, the best net front player in the league. And of course, when you're scoring from close proximity, it makes your odds that much higher being able to do so. He's been amazing this season. He wants that captaincy here in New York. He's been outstanding for the Rangers.
Deserves that. See, that's a conversation for another time. Right now, the focus of the conversation will be the visiting Kraken. Look, everybody knew this wasn't going to be Vegas 2.0. That bar was set way too high. But still, a surprising season for the Kraken, but on the other end, in terms of being a disappointment. What's happened?
It has been, and there's my man, the great Ron Francis, my former teammate with Carolina and Hall of Famer that he is, who's the architect of this team, and he knew it would take some time, and there'd be some adversity along the way. But I can say, coming into the year, I certainly felt they'd be playing meaningful games down the stretch, and that Pacific Division, unbeknownst to all of us, coming into the year, has been a lot more competitive than we thought it would be. So the Kraken do have a bright spot, though. Happens to be Jared McCann.
Yes, sir.
Who we thought last year was really good, by the way.
It was the breakout before this breakout.
Totally. He was really good with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and you see some of that confidence bubbling over for him in the Pacific Northwest. Scoring goals, making plays, going to the heart of the ice, as you'll see here, coming down the middle, unchecked himself from defenders, putting him in spots to score. First in goals, first in points, first in power play goals, and just shy of 100 shots. He's on pace for 32 this year, so it's been a really nice start to the season for him.
On pace for 32?
Sweet, right?
Wow.
Is that unreal?
His previous best was 14.
Exactly.
The goalie matchup, president of the goalie union, Kevin Weeks, it's Philip Grubauer opposite Igor Shesterkin. Grubauer coming off a brilliant year for the Colorado Avalanche, having a down campaign. This man is most definitely not the front runner for the Vezina Trophy.
He's the front runner for the Vezina Trophy. He's been amazing this season across every metric. I spoke to my former teammate Steve Balaquette, former goalie of the Rangers and now one of the voices on MSG. He endorsed all those very numbers based on his company, and Shesterkin having a Vezina Trophy year.
And with that, we are